back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another season preview with Shamrock Rovers this time. I've already done Derry City, already done Drogheda United, so check them out. Philip, what's the story, pal?
Yeah, all good, kids. Been looking forward to this now since, I'd say, the day after Christmas, counting down the days. So, yeah, looking forward to this.
I'd say so, yeah. It's been a pretty, I suppose, quiet, if you like, transfer period for Shamrock Rovers. I've been saying to a lot of people, they've been kind of sitting back with the cigars, watching everyone else try and do their business, losing players, bringing in players, and that sort of thing. And some people have said Rovers have had a quiet window. But the thing is, the fact is they haven't needed to have a window that isn't quiet, essentially. I mean, they brought in Andy Lyons recently, as we know. Jack Byrne was the big one. Added to what they've already had. They've only really lost, as such, Joey O'Brien, who was kind of in and out anyway. And Brandon Kavanagh, who you might consider to be a loss, but he wasn't actually part of the team. So in a sense, he's not a loss, but a player I'm sure he would have liked to have kept. But what's your thoughts on the transfer business overall, generally, then?
Yeah, look, I suppose there wasn't really much to chat about really until about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and obviously the big move happened. Well, probably 2 weeks ago now. Obviously, Lyons making the move over, and look, he could be absolutely brilliant for us, but look, I don't think if we didn't sign him, I don't think we would have been that stuck anyways. I think you'd agree with me there, Keith, you know. Sean Gannon is more than capable, and it'd be interesting to see where Gannon plays now this year, you know, because towards the end of the season he played very well on the right-hand side of a back three. So, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on. But I'm happy with how things have gone. Obviously, look, the big one is Jack, but we all kind of knew that was happening, you know, and look, I hear he's up to speed now, and he's getting up to speed in pre-season, which is obviously brilliant, you know, and you just hope he's going to be back to his best. I've no doubt he will be, to be honest with you. Happy with the business so far, Keith, yeah.
Is there something else? I don't think they'll do anything else personally. You never know. But is there something else? If there was one position you would like maybe to bring in, where would you look to bring in terms of the first team? Or is there one?
I'm not so sure. Maybe another wing back, but again, you know what I mean. You've got Cabo coming back, and you know, Barry Cotter is more than capable of doing a job there. You know, so look, to be honest with you, I think we're spoiled for choice. You know, maybe a midfielder. You know, actually, now that I think about it, you know, you've got Finner and McCann, lads just starting to slightly age, you know, and that's probably one position I'd probably take another one in. Look, obviously, Watson and O'Neill, you've got a grand set up there with those boys, but just think maybe another midfielder could be nice. But look, I'm not going to kick up a fuss. A holding midfielder, that is, because going forward, we've spoiled for choice, you know. So but look, I think the fact that I'm kind of nitpicking, Keith, tells you how satisfied I am. And I think a big thing with Rovers, Keith, is they haven't had to strengthen, because I personally think a lot of teams have gotten a lot weaker around them, you know. And look, obviously, we need to see what happens with Pats and stuff, but I think I personally thought Pats were the biggest challenge that Rovers are going to face this year, and that was before obviously all the players leaving and the manager leaving. You know, that's where I think coming off the back of the season, Keith, you mightn't agree with me, but I personally thought Pats were going to be a close run thing with us if they could hold on to what they had and strengthen. You know, obviously that's all changed now, so I think Rovers haven't had to do the business that maybe they would have done in previous windows.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think the other side of it is we've got Maku coming through as well. So he's going to add a dynamic, because he's very lively, skillful. You've obviously got Gaffney and you've got Green up front, but he gives you something else, I think. Almost like a bit of X factor. Of course, he could play possibly a little deeper in a Burke manager role if needed as well. But he's a player I'm personally looking forward to seeing this season. What about yourself?
Yeah, it's going to be a good year for him. I personally think he's about filling out as well. I just seen a couple of pictures online. He said, geez, I remember the last time looking at him, he's putting a bit of weight. Muscle, that is, sorry. Yes, sorry. If you're
not to confuse people,
but no, I really think he's going to have a strong season this year, you know. And look, I'll be honest with you, I think he kind of got back in, linking into a previous video, he could be someone that could be looking at a move, do you know what I mean? And he's been in the academy as well. I don't think he's going to go into the season thinking, I'm going to have a good season and move on. I think he's more focused on his football. He seems that type of lad, very genuine lad. And spoke to him at the end of the season last year, you know, and he looks like he has his head on his shoulders. So I think there's a big season coming from him. And probably, again, the main reason why Rovers haven't went out and got another striker You know, we haven't had 25 goals a season. We haven't had that for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So, and like, obviously, it'd be fantastic if Emakhu could get into double digits. I'd say that would add a lot, you know, with the likes of Rory and Aaron as well up front. So yeah, exciting times when it comes to the forward line.
Crucial as well, I think, keeping Roberto Lopez, because after his performances at the AFCON, I honestly thought there's a good chance that someone will come in with a bid, and a decent bid, by the way. Like, I was thinking maybe 800 to a million bid. You're talking about a player who's putting himself out there in the AFCON, remember, as well. So, interesting what could happen there in the summer, but obviously he's there for now, so got to be happy with that. I'd say you're a bit nervous about that, were you, coming to the end of the window?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Keith. When you got man of the match in the group stage game, I think it was the second or third one it was, I was pretty concerned because I watched every game. Obviously, things didn't kind of end the way he probably would have wanted to, but I don't think that they wouldn't have got much further, to be honest with you. I think even with the full 11 on, I think they'd have been beat. But what, like, I think it actually has gone under the radar, Keith, in my opinion. Like, such like magnitude, like a player of League of Ireland standard, which is obviously quite good in our opinion, but going and playing on, like, you can call it,
Mane,
a global
played
stage.
against Mane.
Yeah, and do you know what I mean? Like, and I think there's a great video going around of him intercepting Mane, and it's just like, you know, looks like Van Dijk when he's doing it, like, you know, and that's how highly he's rated. I think you'd agree, Keith. He's probably one of, if not the best centre half in the division.
Easily. No doubt about it. So obviously next season, you're looking at Europe. Last season was a bit disappointing, and I'll ask you about the league in 2 seconds, but that's something where they really have to look to improve on, and bringing in Jack Byrne as well, you'd like to think would help that in European matches. Yeah,
and I actually don't want to jinx it, and probably shouldn't say this, but I actually fancy us to get quite close in the Champions League this year. I really do. And I know that's a massive statement. I think if we can avoid a big team...
It depends on the draw, it's very difficult to say until you see the draws,
Yeah. I just think, though, if you're talking the same opposition, the same calibre of opposition, maybe that we played bar AC Milan, I mean, those sort of teams, if we can get a good run, you know, I think Dundalk were got a favourable draw last year.
Yeah,
you know, if we can do the same, I fancy our chances, Keith. I just think the way things have gone, I think that experience of last year, you know, like, I think the lads realise you can't have an off night in Europe. It's simple as that. You know, I think we were better than that side that put us out. I think it was Flora, you know, and even Bratislava, like, you know, Slovan Bratislava, wasn't it, in the Champions League? Like,
yeah, that's right.
You know,
they were beatable, like, for Shamrock Rovers, I believe. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I think now, Keith, I think that they'll have learned from that, and I really would like to think that we can push on this year. A lot of people think it's a major thing that Rovers have to do. You'd like to see them do it, but I'll be personally honest. My bread and butter is the league title. Keith, you mentioned it there a minute ago. We're going to chat about it. That is my bread and butter. We win the league title, I'd be delighted. If we can get a cup, brilliant. And obviously, look, I'd fancy us in Europe, but who knows?
I'm guessing you'll think they'll make it 3 in a row, but do you think it'll be as easy as last season? I mean, obviously, Derry looked like they've spent well, and that Matty Smith addition as well. You know, Smith, McGonigal, Duffy, and Brandon Kavanagh. That's pretty good as well. Like, you know, maybe they're a bit short in midfield compared to Rovers, but as a League of Ireland fan, I would like to think that Derry can push Shamrock Rovers this season.
Yeah, I really do. I hate to say, I'm very concerned, and I seen Kavanagh heading up, and I just said to myself, Jesus, what are they thinking? Like, you know, I think had Rovers have had any idea that was going to happen, I don't think they would have let him go. I really don't. You know, look, I don't know. I'd imagine there was probably rumour about the place when that happened. You know, but I can't see how we can let a player of such exceptional quality like Bray. If Bray didn't have him when he performed, he was unplayable in the First Division, in my opinion. Especially, obviously, last year. Probably wasn't as good as the 4th season he had at Bray, but
he still had good moments though, didn't he, in big games and that. And you have to remember he's playing with, no disrespect to Bray, but he's not playing with the strongest team in the world either. So, you know, if he's coming into, say, a Derry or Rovers team as an example, he is playing with better quality players. Like,
yeah, exactly. And there was a spell he had in the Rovers side, and he done quite well, you know, and that's that's what baffles me, you know. And
he also fits the system because Rovers often played with 2 in behind as such, a 4-2-3, or not a 4-2, but a 2-1, and he fits that 2 nicely, like, you know.
Yeah, and I would be the first person to question the manager for doing something like that. But look, I would never question Stephen Bradley. I'd imagine he has his reasons for it. You know, it maybe look, Brandon might have pushed for a move away. Who knows? But yeah, I on a general basis though, Keith, back to your question, Derry are absolutely a threat, 100%, and I think everyone with a head on their shoulders can recognise that as well, or at least some sort of head on their shoulders. You know, and I'd say JP is licking his lips at the thought of that team this year.
Yeah, he couldn't stop smiling in that Derry preview anyway, every time I spoke.
Yeah, well, there you go, you know, and that doesn't surprise me. No, JP, if anyone deserves it, it's JP, you know, smashing that. So, yeah, no, look, Derry are big threats this year, Keith, a big threat, Keith, but like at the same time, you know, we obviously have to see how the other big team, Dundalk, cope with the change. You know, I don't think they can get close enough. But, you know, something stranger things have happened, Keith. You know, they do have quite a bit of experience up there now again. Like, and who knows? You know, who knows with the way hopefully they've got their club sorted out, and the fact that, like, you know, the ownership has changed hands again. I think it's back in the right hands, and that sometimes that's all the club needs, Keith. Is all the fans knowing that the club is being run by the right people. And you know, I don't think there's any question they've got the right man to do the job. We've seen what he done at Pats, and you know, who knows, Keith? They could maybe be in the title race halfway through the season. Who knows? But whether they get there toward the end, I'm not so sure. But I suppose that's what we're all looking forward to finding out.
Excellent, Phil. Thanks very much for that. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Where Shamrock Rovers is going to finish. Are they going to win the league? Are they going to be relegated? Or where do you think they're going to finish? I don't think anyone thinks they'll be relegated. Subscribe to the channel, hit your bell notification button, and like the video if you like the content. Cheers, Philip.
Cheers, Keith.